Some college football perusing.
Yes.
Would find that we go around the sport of college football. Somebody said, I'm not even a fan of NFL, but I find NFL Factoid Tuesday boring. And I thought, you're telling me you don't like the NFL, so of course the NFL segment is boring indeed.
You're learning things about something that you don't really care about, so I don't think you're going to enjoy that segment very much.
It is not going anywhere. We will never be giving up NFL Factoid Tuesday. I love the off-the-beaten-path stats, but we haven't gotten to as much college football as we normally do on Mondays.
No, because the NFL was awesome this weekend.
And so let's start with this one. This coach really pissed off. I could not be more disappointed in his team and the performance that they showed at the first half of their football game.
Maybe I just have a different standard. I don't like them freaking moving the ball. They're dropping back at the end of the half. Like, we're on the sidelines, me and John are saying, they'll take a knee here. They'll run the ball. They don't fear you. They don't respect you enough yet. And if that sounds like coach speak, then you have the wrong brain. They're dropping back against our starting defense. They're cutting our O-line at the end of the half. All you young guys are just go back there and chill. I want my opportunity. Some of you guys will get an opportunity right now. I told you I don't care what the score is. I told you I care what the tape looks like. Did I trip when the ball was fumbled? No, I don't care what happens in the game. I want to see what the next play is. You have one half. Defense, you have one half. If they try to drop back and throw it, and that quarterback's not on the ground, I want new guys in there rushing. I want them hit. I want them never to say our name again.
Now, many of you might be saying, Billy Napier didn't quite work for you firing your troops up. You'd be incorrect. That was not Billy Napier. That was Matt Rule.
Noted podcast host.
Nebraska was up 33-0 on Akron in the first half. That was the halftime speech of one Matt Rule.
You think Akron was sitting around watching this yesterday like, yo, dude, what the hell, man?
We were down 30. We weren't supposed to pass.
33-0. What do you want, just take a knee and end the game? What's your beef, dude? We didn't do anything to you.
Now, I want to get to the Florida loss of USF because Nebraska ended up handling Akron to no shocking development.
This start of the year is lining up for Nebraska potentially. They got Houston Christian this week, and then they host Michigan sans Sharon Moore.
Oh, that's right. The suspension game.
It starts to this week and next week, and then they get Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern after that.
So we kind of predicted, keep an eye on that USF-Florida game going into last weekend because everybody said there was no good games.
No good games. Slate sucks.
Billy Napier was given a lot of benefit because the season ended, I guess, on a high.
They pulled off some upsets. Lagway played well.
Lagway played fine. Lagway has not been stellar.
Nope.
In any way, and they lost at home to USF.
Yep.
They have LSU. Their schedule is brutal. That was a game they could not afford to drop, and it kind of just feels like ultimately they may win a game or two in that run, but it's hard for me to see where it is. This feels like the most obvious job opening that is looming on the upcoming offseason.
You know who the next 4 games are against?
I can't remember the order, but yeah, I've seen the teams, and it's like, oh, God.
On the road at LSU this weekend.
Good luck.
Next weekend, they go on the road to Miami, come home to play Texas, and then they go on the road to Texas A&M. That does not include games at the back half of the year at home against Georgia, at Ole Miss, at home against Tennessee, and at home against Florida State, who does not look like a pushover.
If he loses every single one of these games, I think they may fire him because the season will be over, and they will just say, okay, we're going to start looking now for our next coach, which, some people are already writing, and you're joking about it. Jed Fish's name has popped up into this, but there's also a Brent Keys. Does he want to leave the ACC and take his coaching style to the SEC?
Run the ball.
But if they don't win any of those games, they go 0-for. I won't be surprised at all if they fire Billy Napier.
A team who came in getting a lot of conversation going into the year. DJ Lagway was talked about endlessly about the potential and the kind of quarterback that he could be, and I'm not out on DJ Lagway at all. He's only a true sophomore. He's still incredibly young and has not started that many games because, remember, he wasn't the starter right out of the gate last year. They had Mertz in there. Then they brought him in, and then when they brought him in, he ended up getting hurt and missed some of their games. I think the Texas game he didn't end up playing last season, and so he's still incredibly raw as a prospect, and it's going to take him time. That was an embarrassing loss, and you have a coach who had bad clock management at the end of the game. Billy Napier did. He's the one that calls the plays, and the offense has been lethargic through their first 2 games of the season, and everybody's wondering, are you going to continue to call plays? Are you handing those duties to someone else? This has, now to be fair to him, we did this last year, right? We said Florida, oh God, they got killed by Miami. The rest of their season's going to be a disaster. He's going to get fired, and he found a way to save it. But when there's a little bit of writing on the wall, it usually ends up being right. Like their quote-unquote good year last year. Now, their schedule was brutal. I'm not making any bones about that. They were 7-5 last year and 4-4 in conference play.
I also have no real sympathy for the schedule conversation. It feels like this is the narrative people used because they like Billy Napier. You're effing Florida.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, I've watched you be amazing.
Multiple national championships.
You're
multiple
well-funded.
Heisman trophies.
You're well-run. Yeah. Like, you have facilities. Yeah. By the way, they signed him. I did not know this. 7-year, $51.8 million deal in 2021. If they fire him.
What's the buyout there?
They're going to owe him $22.8.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to say they'll fire him, but maybe they won't. I don't know, man. I can't read teams anymore.
This is a very interesting game this weekend. I'm genuinely excited for LSU Florida because LSU did not look great. The Clemson win after 2 weeks looks a little bit lesser than because Clemson struggled this weekend with Troy. And
is that a look-ahead spot, though,
very
for
well
LSU?
Could have been. And it could have been this past weekend for Florida, right? Like, Florida, who knows? With South Florida coming to town, we're going to win the game. We'll be fine. We're getting ready for LSU mentally.
Yeah.
And then you get caught off guard, and then they come out and beat LSU this weekend. It's on the road. It's in Baton Rouge. That won't be easy, but he's going to get fired written all over it because if you turn it around and go 7-5 again this year,
so they're going to spend $23 million to fire him plus an additional
probably
$2 million for the staff.
Like, what's the record in your mind if you're the AD at Florida that's enough to keep Billy Napier around? Because the boosters are there to pay for it. They got money.
If I'm at Florida, man, I don't want to see worse than 8-4.
8-4 has to be the floor.
With a sophomore, I would understand. I go, okay, tough schedule. All
yes.
right, cool. You navigated it. You won 8 games. Like, it's one thing to lose. It's another to be a 17.5-point home favorite to a group of 5 school that you substantially have more talent than.
Who should have woke you up after the way they played against Boise. They whooped up on Boise.
And you didn't even score 17 points.
No, 18-16 the final.
Like, that is the biggest of red flags. You're 17-point favorite at home. You can't even score 17 points.
Is it Golish? Is that how you say the last name of the South Florida coach, Alex Golish?
He's another name that people are like, yo, if you're doing this in South Florida.
His name is on everybody's radar.
Yeah. 5th-ranked Miami, 17.5-point home favorites over 18th-ranked South Florida this Saturday.
I don't know if they're covered, but I think Miami's defense, to me, and we'll see about this come Monday, but Miami's defense is different. I do think he hit the portal hard enough. Now, that's Notre Dame. That's a freshman quarterback.
Yeah. They got to go in late in that game.
I think there's good vibes for Miami right now. I like
them
to win that game.
Can they avoid the trap game?
I don't think it's a trap game anymore.
See, they play Florida the next week.
I don't think it's a trap game. The team that just beat Florida, why would you overlook that?
I would say that to Florida. Why would you overlook South Florida?
LSU's 8-point home favorite.
Well, but this is the problem with Billy Napier. Like, we can talk about trap stuff, right? And Ken Barkley can laugh at us till he's... The Texas Tech line has been dropping in Oregon State's favor.
Yes, it has.
And people are like, how is this happening? And I say, well, they play Utah
next week on the road.
So you look at a patsy like Oregon State, and you're like, we won by 20. Who cares? I'm not shocked by it. We saw LSU struggle with La Tech. We saw Clemson, come out the gate sluggish against Troy for a long time.
It happens to everybody.
You mentioned Georgia with Austin Peay. Penn State with FIU. We understand that some teams overlook their opponent completely. Now, that's not happening in Eugene. The difference is you're Florida. You have not done anything in this coaching tenure for me to give you some little it's a trap game. You overlooked them because you have LSU. You're at home. It's a team that beat Boise State.
And your schedule's brutal, too.
It's an in-state opponent. This coach is a hot commodity. Your schedule's hard. How about you come out and take full advantage? By the way, did you see who beat them? Martin Grammatica's kid.
He did, yeah.
How old are we?
That's a wild one. I saw one the other day.
We have a Grammatica back in football.
Noel Devine. Do you remember Noel Devine at West Virginia?
Yes, I do.
One of the all-time great highlight tapes. His son just got a scholarship offer to West Virginia.
Did he have a kid in college? Because I don't know how that works.
It was not that long ago. Because he was in college, I want to say 2008-ish.
Oh, my God. He had to have had a kid, though.
He had to have at a very young age because his kid's now entering the recruiting ranks.
Yeah. Ultimately, we'll see. That's a lot of money to spend for coaching removal, and not as we've seen in this world, a lot of these schools are stupid with their money, and so we're not seeing as much firing when it comes to big buyouts. I think the Jimbo one was a big wake-up call for people of we can't be doing this anymore.
Anything sub 7-5, there's no chance he keeps his job. That's my take right now.
I tend to agree with you on that.
Anything worse than that. Maybe they turn around and beat LSU this weekend and we say, hey, there goes Billy Napier again. But if they lose again, ooh, buddy, the rest could be rough.